Yo, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Lakey here representing TeamJVS. I'm back here again for another movie review. I've got a lot of reviews coming, you guys, so just brace yourself. There's a lot of them. They're going to be completely unedited, unscripted, and just raw. So brace yourself. The next one I got is an Amazon Prime film that's available right now. It's called Being the Ricardos. This was directed by the amazing Aaron Sorkin. He, to me, last year had the best film in the Trial of Chicago 7. And I mean, he wrote and directed this. This is basically following I Love Lucy in an era and a specific time where Lucille Ball and Desi, who played Ricardo, which you would say, or Ricky, basically they face a crisis because Lucy has been outed as something, and it basically challenges their careers in a episode that it basically was kind of like, if everything worst case scenario happened, it would happen on this day where it's a do or die moment where either both of them are going to get fired, she's going to get fired, or they're just going to lose everything and everyone. But to be frank, these people did have relationships. They did have children. And so the character dynamics are very stretched because it goes and spans in different moments and flashbacks through their career. It doesn't hold any punches necessarily. Like, things that you didn't know about them, they kind of do make mention to them in a very explicit way. The way that the style of this, though, is almost like an autobiography, which is weird because this isn't the actual people. But they kind of use the actual people. It's really strange. But this is starring Nicole Kidman. She's playing the role of Lucille Ball. Javier Bardem is playing the role of Desi Arnaz. J.K. Simmons is playing the role of William Fawley. And then who else we got? We got Aaliyah Shawkat playing the role of Madeline. Tony Hale playing the role of the manager and Jess. It's some good actors in this. It's some really good actors and some really good performances. So the first big positive I'll say, the way that this was directed, I think that he directed it very well. I just don't know about the choice of using it kind of like in an autobiography, one period moment situation. I think it felt like it was something that was lost there versus just from the beginning where it starts going to it. But maybe it doesn't matter because it does allow for some very powerful performances. And it also shows a lot of the genius or the perspective of Aaron's perspective on her, of her genius in comedy and understanding. Like, he's able to capture a lot of those things where I was like, wow, she's a beast. Even same thing when it comes to the person that's Desi, like Ricardo. Like, I didn't know, the levels of devotion that he had to the show and his commitment to different things, not just to his wife. And it's interesting because I was like, man, Desi is owning this. Like, he's the boss. Like, he's the man. Like, they are the literal dynamic duo. And I think that Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem, their performance sell it. Like, not only do they have great chemistry, but they eat up scenes on certain levels. Now, Nicole Kidman, absolutely the standout. She's probably or should get a nomination for Best Actress because she honestly, I mean, some people I've heard like, oh man, her face looks this, or like she's trying to, do Botox. I'm like, no. Like, she, to me, tapped into who Lucy is. And it's weird because it's not the Lucy that we know. Like, we just see, the girl on the screen is like fumbling around and joking all the time. We don't see who the Lucille Ball was. And I think that she's able to capture both, like whether it's the pitch or the voice or the comedic moments. Like, it's almost like Nicole Kidman disappeared. And I think I've seen a couple different performances this year where I would say Jessica Chastain for Tammy Faye, definitely, I felt like she disappeared. I would say Kristen Stewart, Spencer, I felt like she absolutely disappeared. And I think that this is one of those transformative performances. J.K. Simmons is awesome. I just loved his character. And I think that the fact that, we normally are used to seeing the character that he plays be like the grouch or whatever, like, no, like, he's very needed to the elevation of certain important, key, serious moments in this. Javier Bardem, I think he really does own the role of Desi. I just don't know. I feel like because a lot of this was taking place in flashbacks, there's a lot of character progression that he missed out on, whereas like he was more reactive to how this is very much so just Lucille Ball's, show with this, even though they do moments for the character or the person that was Desi. But I felt like there was some moments where it didn't, I don't know, I felt the same kind of way with certain elements when it comes to King Richard, where I was like, I wish I would have known from this perspective, from the wife's perspective versus just William. So I think that that's going to happen from time to time, but it doesn't lose out to me. I think that they did do some strong performances in this film. I just think that the film of and of itself is kind of like, it's not that it's not forthcoming, but it's not necessarily accessible to everybody. Like, it's not something that everybody's like, oh, I want to see this moment for this specific reason. But I do think for the performances and the execution of the performances, whether directing or acting, that merit the importance of the validity of this film that is Being the Ricardos. And I think that it's definitely, it has one of the best performances this year, and it definitely has some really good moments in it that I think that are merited. But as a film, I'd rest it at 7 or 7.5 out of 10. But if I had to just rate it on just acting and aesthetic, there's certain set design moments that are just, I was like, man, I remember this from Nick and Night. Oh my God, this is awesome. So definitely go and check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button, because you don't have the post-credit notifications on. When there's like 10 reviews up, you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't see all this. And if you didn't, it's fine. Go and check it out later on. If you're watching this later on in 2022, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Peace, guys.